Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Maxul Hassan. I'm straight going to the question part. So the first question was, what is a foreign key and why is it important? So a foreign key is a field in one table that references the primary key of another table. It creates a link between two tables and enforces the referential integrity. The importance of foreign key are many. The it maintains the data integrity, like it prevents invalid references. You cannot create a booking for a non-existent user or vehicle. Uh, if you try to do that, the database will immediately prevent you and throw an error. And another one should be, enforces relationships. It ensures that the data consistency across the table. Another one should be a cascading, the cascading actions. When a parent table is deleted, it will cascade through the child table and it can delete that one as well. So if the relationship is made with the foreign key and the primary key, this is possible. Otherwise, it is not going to be possible there. And lastly, I would say the data validation. So the database automatically validates the referenced record exists or not. So if you cannot insert any non-existent existing user or any vehicle to a booking. So this is something can be prevented by implementing the foreign key and primary key relationship. So in our rental system, I would say the booking table uses I would say the booking table uses the uh, foreign key of user ID and a vehicle ID to ensure that every booking is linked to a valid user and vehicles. Moving forward to second question here is that uh, difference between where and having clause. So the main difference between where and having clause is that the where clause uh, is filters individual rows before grouping, and having clause filters out after the group by clause. You know, so um, the where clause used with the select, update, delete statements, and then the having clause usually or only used in the group by clause. Um, uh, Applied, the where clause uh, cannot be applied to the aggregated functions. It can be used in aggregated functions in a subquery, but not in the whole query. But if you want to use the having clause, it can, using the having clause, you have the capability to use the aggregate functions like the max, average, sum, count. Those kinds of functions can be used in as a whole, full query if you use the having clause. So, the key difference between the uh, where clause and having clause is, where filters the row before aggregation, and having filters out the grouping after the aggregation. So this is the main difference, I would say. um, I'm moving forward to the third question here. And let me look into the question. Okay, so the question was, what is a primary key and its characteristics? So primary key is a unique identifier for each record in a table. So the characteristics of the primary key is that primary key makes it, primary key is always unique, and each value must be unique. No duplicates are allowed in the primary key field, primary key column, and it should always be some value there. It cannot be null. Um, it cannot duplicate, and I would say the primary key helps the whole table to be, or the whole records to be uh, indexed well. So if the table is indexed through any individual column, then the database manages to pull out the data faster. And this is the and you can reference this primary key to another table which can be used as a foreign key as well. So before using that thing as a foreign key, you need to have the primary key inside the your main table. And in our system, I would say the primary key is where user ID, vehicle ID, booking ID, these were primary key. Yeah, moving forward to the last question. Difference between inner join and left joint. Um, Inner joint is uh, selecting the common records between two individual tables or more tables. Uh, main issue or the main point of the inner join is to uh, inner join returns only matching records from both tables. If no match exists, the record is excluded. And most restrictive join type is can be known as the inner join. If you do not have any matches, it will not gonna return anything. So on that case, it is known as the most restrictive type. And the left join is that uh, or it is also known as the left outer join. Here is that it returns all records from the left table, regardless it has the matching of the right table or not. So even if it has some matching of the right records, it will show the right records, but it will regardless of the matching, it will show the left records anyways. So if no match found, it fills with null values for right table columns, but it will always show the left table columns every time. So it is used when you need all records from one table regardless of matches. Um, if we look into our code here, is that once we use the group by and having to find vehicles with more than two uh, bookings. What we did in that case here is that we have done uh, inner join with vehicle table and the booking table. So we are taking all the we are taking the uh, vehicles that are exclusively have the entry inside the booking table. So we are taking those vehicles only. And after that, we have used some clauses to, count the booking number to ensure that they are used more than two times. So this is the way to use the inner table. We have not used any left. join here in this particular one. So this is one example of our existing code that has the inner join. And if we needed to show all the vehicles regardless of the uh, bookings, and if the booking exists, then the number of the booking should be shown. So on that case, we could use the uh, left join. So yeah, this is the answer of all the questions inside the uh, in our uh, database assignment. So thank you.